In this session, I'm joined by the world's leading membership expert and the co-founder of membership.io, Stu McLaren. I'm really excited for this session. He has some amazing stuff prepared for us. And warm welcome to the session, Stu.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for putting this all together.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You said you have a custom presentation made. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't even prepared for that. So tell me what you have in store for us and what people can expect.
Well, you're right. This is exclusively prepared for you and this summit. And basically what we're going to talk about is the growth trap that so many creators fall into and how AI can save them from that growth trap. And the punchline is the old way of doing business is not working moving forward. And AI has opened so many opportunities for us to be able to serve more people while cutting back our own workload so that we can have a business and a life that we love. And so what I want to do in this presentation is I'm going to break down 3 big areas that prevent creators from being able to create that business and life they love because they're stuck in this growth trap. And we'll talk about what that is and how to get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have some stuff prepared. So let's get right into it, Stu. I mean, I'm sure you get into a little bit what it is that you do with membership.io and everything, but let's get into the presentation here.
All right, buddy. I'll dive right in. Here we go. So today I want to talk to you about how to 10x your business without 10xing your work. And as I mentioned, the whole secret to this is using AI to be able to scale your impact without scaling your headaches. Now, quick intro. My name is Stu McLaren. I am a proud husband and dad. I've been an entrepreneur my entire career. I have spent an enormous amount of time specifically focused on helping people grow memberships. In fact, that's the business that I've been focused on for more than 17 years. And as part of that, I am the co-creator of the membership experience, co-creator of the most incredible, but I'm also very biased, membership platform called membership.io, and host of the podcast, Marketing Your Business. Now, as I mentioned, since 2008, I've been working with thousands of membership site owners in all kinds of different markets. And every single day, we create, we teach, and we serve. And we now have more than 19,000 plus students of our signature program, the membership experience. And so as creators, we all want the same thing. We want more leads, we want more customers, we want more revenue, and we want more impact. We want to be able to help the people that we're serving and have an impact on their life. But here's what nobody talks about. Well, actually, sorry, let me take that back. One person talked about it. Mo money, mo problems. And here's what I mean. More leads, more customers, more revenue equals more problems. See, here's the hard truth. More customers equal more headaches. And this is the growth trap. This is the hard truth about growth that other coaches just aren't talking about. See, in the beginning, you're in the honeymoon stage. This is where you have your first 10 members of a membership, first 10 customers. Life is perfect. You know everyone. There's the personal touch. It's easy. Then you get into the stretch stage where now you have maybe grown to 100 members. This is where things start to get a little repetitive, maybe a bit dicey. The work starts to build up. There's definitely less personal touch. And then there's the drowning stage. This is where now you've gone from 100 to 1,000 members. This is where we typically begin to see chaos. You maybe even regret. You're buried in like the operations of running the membership or the business, and members are lost and they're leaving. So at this point, you have 2 options. Option 1 is you can continue to do it all yourself. This is where you just put on the hat and be like, okay, I'm just going to work harder. I'm going to work nights. I'm going to work weekends. And it's ultimately going to lead you to burnout. Option 2 is you begin building a team. But the problem with that is now you're managing people. You're not spending your time creating. You're not spending your time teaching. You're just managing. And this is the growth trap. See, we want more customers, of course, but we don't want more work. We want to help more people without losing our lives. And so everyone talks about how to get more members, but few teach you how to handle more customers. See, that part is about to get a whole lot easier. And that's exactly why you are here in this summit. Am I right? It's to thrive in the new creator economy with the power of AI. And P.S., thank you, Navid, for that. So here's the third option that I want to share with everybody. See, you don't need more hours. You don't need more people. You just need more AI assistance. So the three big problems that AI can solve for you today. Number one is onboarding chaos. Number two is support overload. And number three are silent cancellations. So let's dig in. The first is onboarding that scales like magic. See, the first challenge is when you get more members, there's a whole lot of chaos. As we said, more members equal more problems. 10 members, you can onboard them personally. 100 members or 1,000 members, now it starts to get out of hand. You cannot onboard them personally. And so this is where we need to create a personalized and tailored experience where they don't get lost and quit. See, you lose customers as fast as you can add them, and it's costing you big bucks. See, the old way is that you present everybody with the same content. It's the same experience for everybody. So beginner Ben here, he comes in, and maybe he sees some beginner lessons, but maybe he also sees some advanced lessons. And the question that I want to throw out to everybody is like, how do you think beginner Ben is going to feel if he sees advanced lessons? He's probably going to feel like overwhelmed, like he's in the wrong place, right? Well, what about advanced Adam? If the membership or the experience you're providing is the same for everybody, he too is going to feel weird if he sees beginner lessons. He's probably going to feel like, I'm way beyond this. Like, this is not for me. So now, by providing the same experience for everybody, it's made it easy for you, but you're actually alienating a huge portion of your audience. And in other words, this is a recipe for overwhelm and churn. See, now fast forward to today. You and I can actually create personalized experiences that directly contribute to driving more consumption, audience engagement, and ultimately progress for our people. See, and it's up to you to get to know your members and learn about them and their goals and offer content experiences and custom community spaces that are tailored to them where they are at right now in their journey. It's like having a success coach for every single member. Now, how does this play out? Well, we all create lots of content, right? The magic is what happens next. It's where you take that content and you automate and personalize the experience. So think you're the talent, you create the content, then you use automation to be able to tag it and to be able to understand who that content is going to be most relevant for. You can use GPTs to create resources based on that content, and then you can use it to personalize the experience so that, beginner Ben, he sees beginner content when he comes inside your membership or whatever course you may be delivering. Advanced Adam, he sees more advanced lessons. It's the same membership, but the experience is personalized and tailored to each of them. See, more consumption, more progress, and less overwhelm is what is going to happen when you personalize this experience. And by the way, all of those things lead to much higher retention. So Bonnie Snowden is a great example. She teaches people how to draw realistic animals with colored pencils. She has over 5,000 plus members inside that membership. But not everybody coming into her membership is at the same level. Some people are learning it for the first time. Others have been doing it for years. So if she were to give everybody the same experience, she would alienate a large portion of her members. Instead, what she does, what she does is she asks a simple question when people are onboarding, and it guides them to content that is most relevant to them where they're at. Instagram growth coach Brock Johnson did this too. And they cut their churn by nearly 50% in month number one that they did this. For them, that meant they were saving hundreds and hundreds of members in month number one. That's tens of thousands of dollars a month. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the year. And they did this without adding any extra overhead. In fact, they actually made some cuts and therefore increased their profit margins. So when you join their membership, again, they ask a couple questions, and you can see on the right-hand side, it diagnosed and says, okay, you're at level 1. So we'll show you level 1 content. And as they said here, when they migrated to membership.io, they saw membership churn drop by almost 50%. And more importantly, their customers loved the experience and they consumed more content because the content was most relevant to them. Okay, next thing that we want to cover is support that never sleeps. See, your customers, your members, they're going to be going through your content at all kinds of hours of the day. And when they have questions, the faster we can get them answers, the more progress they will make. But the second problem with all of this is just the sheer support overload. See, more members equal more problems, more questions being asked. And oftentimes, my guess is you're probably getting asked the same questions over and over and over again. Am I right? Okay, so when that happens, you're spending all this time answering these questions, and that just takes you away from the things that you enjoy most, like actually being creative for your audience. So here's where it is now. Now there's AI tools available to be able to comb through your library of content. And when somebody asks a question, it goes through all of your videos, all of your audio, all of your content, and it identifies the pieces that are most relevant for that question. And then it pieces it together in a comprehensive answer in your voice just for them. So this is the question I want to ask you. Do you have your own GPT? Because chances are you've got a ton of content that is a gold mine that could be used for this purpose. See, then when members ask, they are going to get immediate answers that detail what to do next, and it's all based on your library of past content. It's pulling together the bits and pieces of that content, and it's making it easier for people to be able to get the answers they need right now. And not only that, but now we could also interact with that content. So members could ask it questions and get deeper and deeper answers. Again, all of the answers pulling from your library of content. It means your entire library now becomes your own GPT. So Dan Martell uses this inside of his membership SaaS Academy. So now when people ask questions, boom, it's going through his library of content and it's pulling the pieces that are relevant to that question and it's stitching it together in a comprehensive answer for that person. And best of all, it provides references to where they can go and view in detail the videos or the audio that it was pulling that content from. Here's Tracy, same thing inside of her membership. People can ask questions. It's going through the library. It's creating responses in her voice based on her content. And then it's providing references where if people want to go deeper, it'll take them directly to the video and audio that's relevant. It's AI trained on your content, responding in your voice, and handling a huge portion of those questions that are being asked within your programs. It basically means you have somebody offering 24/7 support for your members, but they're answering all based on your content and your voice. AI handles the repetitive, you handle the actual relationship. Now, the third problem that I want to address is silent cancellations. See, we want to prevent you from losing members that you could have saved. And my guess is that you've got a hunch that some of your members are drifting, but you have no way to back up that hunch. And then they disappear without warning or goodbye. They cancel, right? And that's money out of your pocket. See, here's where it is now. There are AI tools that predict member churn before it happens. And it forecasts revenue with unprecedented accuracy. And what that means is that you can forecast your revenue, you can identify member engagement that is good or bad, and you can identify and save at-risk members before they cancel. So imagine AI going through all of your recurring transactions, and it on a calendar is producing what transactions are happening on what day, what revenue is being processed that day. And it identifies, hey, these members are at financial risk. These members are at an engagement risk, meaning they haven't logged in, they haven't consumed any content, they're not participating. Those members are at risk. And you can begin to see them in advance. See, AI watches your financial activity and member activity, and it spots trouble before it happens. So that could be things like card expiring, engagement dropping, cancellation requests, at-risk revenue. These are all things that we are typically reactive to. But where this is going is AI makes recommendations on what to do to save what members, reduce churn, and maximize revenue before those cancellations happen. So what we've covered today, number one, using AI to streamline your onboarding process and personalizing the experience. When you personalize the experience, you will see higher progress. You'll see a heck of a lot more consumption of your content, way more progress, and therefore higher retention. Second way that AI can be used is to streamline the support. So now instead of having to rely on humans, you're using AI to handle the lion's share, 90, 95% of the frontline questions that you're getting asked. And most importantly, the responses that are being given are all trained on your library of content. It's using your content as a GPT to be able to serve your members at the highest level. The third area that we talked about is using AI to prevent silent cancellations, using AI to identify members that are at risk, either financially or an engagement risk, and then being able to proactively do something about it before the churn happens. These are three big areas in which AI can help us in our business right now, where you get the best of both worlds, where AI-powered creators and business owners, you can have both more customers and less complexity, more revenue and less stress. And how do you do that? AI handles operations, you handle transformations. Let me say that again. AI handles operations, you handle transformations. AI manages the tasks, you build the relationships. This is how you can grow to thousands of members and still make it feel like you have 10, like it's a personalized experience. So my name is Stu McLaren. I am the author of the book, Predictable Profits. You can find it at freemembershipbook.com. And I want to encourage, stay connected. The best way to find me is either on my website, stu.me, or you can find me on Instagram. I'm always there, always answering DMs, and that is at Stu McLaren. So with that, Navid, I'm going to come back to you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm coming back here. So this was awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit about in your business, how you kind of implement this a little bit further. I mean, this is a great kind of introduction to kind of how you can use membership.io, but how do you do this at your scale? And then we can go into maybe some examples as well.
Yeah, well, for personalizing the experience, we use membership.io. And basically the high level of this is that when somebody joins our membership, we ask a question right off the bat. And the question is basically, which best describes you? And we give 4 options. Option 1 for us is they have no audience or list. Option 2 is they have an audience. They're just not selling anything to that audience yet. Option 3 is they have an audience. They are selling things, but they don't have a membership. And option 4 is they have an audience and they're selling a membership. Now, based on how they respond to that one question, we can now direct them accordingly and personalize the experience. So somebody who doesn't have an audience just yet, well, we're not going to deliver content that's all about retaining your members. Number one, they haven't even launched a membership. Number 2, they got to do a bunch of stuff before they even get to the point of launching the membership. So it doesn't make sense for them to essentially be exposed to content that is not relevant for them. So that's an example of how we use membership.io to personalize the experience. So in that case, that person, when we know if they're at level 1, then we're going to show them content that's all about getting clear on their idea, nailing down their positioning statement, being clear about who they're looking to serve and how they're looking to help, being clear on how to begin building their audience. Like, the focus is going to be on meeting them where they are at. And then likewise, if somebody already has a membership, then we're going to be focused on completely different things, like how can they save members from leaving their membership? How can they increase the amount of revenue per member inside their membership? Those are conversations that are going to be more relevant for that person. So that's an example of how we're using membership.io to personalize the experience for all of our students. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what I love with membership.io and when I used it was how easy it was to set up this. I mean, you were quite early with kind of the GPT. I mean, it's not called GPT there, but it's quite similar in a way, but it's just your data and your knowledge, basically. Is that something you have also tried? You have seen now with, I mean, you're powering with a lot of videos. You are so early with that kind of stuff, but could people eventually be able to chat with you, kind of like seeing a video of you? Is that something you guys have? I mean, maybe some future features or whatever. That's something I would like to see, and that you can kind of call in. I know some tools might have that, but I think you guys have all the knowledge already there. It's like a platform with, you have all the videos, it syncs with YouTube and all these kind of different platforms. I think that would just be incredible. I don't know if that's something you have considered.
Yeah, not necessarily that interacting directly via video, but what we are definitely paying a lot of attention to is how to take the same content and expand its reach. And as an example, I know like Instagram's experimenting with this now, where if you publish content in English, you're literally checking a box, and they are going to take that video and they're going to turn it into a Spanish version of Stu. So the fun part about this is where the world is going is that you now have the ability to reach people in their native language all around the world. Where I publish a video in English, and if somebody in France is watching, it'll be me in French. If someone's in Spain, it'll be me in Spanish. If someone's in Portugal, it'll be me in Portuguese. And that just expands our world of being able to reach and serve people all around the world. That's incredibly exciting. You talk about how else we're using AI. Like, you're right. We have always been on the forefront of it. Now, even when you go just to membership.io, and I'd encourage people to just go and experience this, you'll see right on the homepage, you literally can describe what you want, click a button, and behind the scenes, membership.io starts building your membership and or your community based on a prompt. So you might say like, hey, I'm looking to create a course for people looking to learn how to crochet. And great. And I'd like my colors to be X, Y, and Z. You click a button, and now like membership.io is creating your community right there on the spot based on, what you're describing in the prompt. That is where our focus is how do we reduce the time and friction for getting people from idea to actually having it complete as quickly as possible. So there's a lot of fun, innovative ways that AI is being used nowadays, and that's really where a lot of our focus is.
I mean, it's interesting what you mentioned with the translations and all this. I think YouTube as well, they already started, they're kind of early with that, with Mr. Beast videos, and now a lot of other people are getting translated. It's not like lip synced yet, I think, for most of them, but I think that maybe that's just more expensive right now with different platforms. I've been using HeyGen for a lot of this stuff, but it's for longer videos, it's not there quite yet, because you need to basically spend a lot more money or whatever. It's they don't even have plans for it. It's like very limited what you can do with that. So I don't know if that's something you consider, or just simply kind of, you have all the transcripts obviously, and that's already easier. You can do that with Descript, you can do it on the Riverside. I think maybe even you guys, do you have that feature so you can translate right now the transcripts?
100%. Yeah, you can translate the captions, all of that. Absolutely. I think that it'll get there, Navid. I don't think it's there yet, but it will get there. I mean, I look at the advancements that, content and AI, or the advancements that AI has enabled content to make in the last 2-3 years. It's crazy. Like, a number of friends are now experimenting with Sora, and I get, videos from them every day of like the new crazy stuff that they're doing. And it's wild, like, to see how realistic these videos are just from a simple prompt.
Yeah.
And I just think that we're getting closer and closer to practical applications that we can use inside of our programs and the way that we serve people. So it's not there yet, but it'll get there for sure.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Sora. I just, before we jumped on here, I was just doing my cameo, whatever they call it, and it's quite funny. I was like, Navid scores in the World Cup final against Argentina. I was like, I mean, it was quite complicated, you know. Like I wasn't expecting it to be so realistic, but it was damn real. I didn't post it or anything yet, but it was really good. And I sent it to my mom. She was like, my mom couldn't believe it. Like, really, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, a buddy of mine sent me his, and he's a big basketball fan. So he had like the Jordan shirt on, and it was him dunking. And it was funny because that night I actually was over at their house and I was chatting with his kids. And I said, did you see those clips of your dad back in the day? Like, he was on fire, right? And they're like, oh, and I was like, that's your dad, you know? And it's just kind of fun to play around with. But I think, like, you know, what's amazing about that is just the opportunity it provides us to get creative on a whole nother level. So I think Sora right now is kind of gimmicky because people are like, you know, doing videos of them riding a dolphin down a river or something like that. And so it's kind of gimmicky right now, but I think there's opportunity, obviously, for us to get creative with it and you know, use it as a way in our business to grab attention, to disrupt the marketplace, all that kind of stuff. And so it's just fun to see the direction that technology is going.
Yeah, you can also even remove the watermark and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's branded right now with Sora, which is okay, I mean, for the platform, whatever. But I think if you want to use that, I mean, the quality is not the best, obviously, if you really pay attention, but it's still fun. You can do some really creative stuff. I just tested like if that would be flagged or not, but you can get Sam Altman to say like, create a school and the summit is amazing, go sign up. Or I mean, it's pretty cool and it looks really realistic. So now I'm excited for that, but I wanted to shift gears to talk a little bit more. You use obviously the membership, the .io, which is your own platform, but do you use anything else to kind of, as with AI to scale your business, anything in marketing and stuff like that for your launches, anything else that would be relevant to the audience here?
Well, the one tool that I hinted towards in the presentation, which specifically helps you predict your revenue and helps predict at-risk members. So anybody that's got any kind of membership or subscription box or SaaS, anything that's on a recurring revenue basis, they are going to immediately understand the pain point of not being able to see what members are at for churning. See, typically the way a meeting works is every week we come in and we would be like, okay, well, you know, how many members did we lose last week? Why do we think we lost them? What can we do to change that? And then we hope that those changes are going to impact future members that we don't know may cancel. See, that's all reactive. And what this tool does is it allows us to see in advance what members are at risk so that we can actually do something about it before those members cancel. And that tool is our own tool that we've created for our own purposes. It's called RenewIQ.com. So that is one that we definitely use in our business. And it's saved us literally tens of thousands of dollars because we can proactively get in touch with members who are at risk, save those members from canceling before they cancel, which is way easier than trying to convince somebody that's already canceled to come back. And so that's definitely one that we use in our business on a regular basis.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that. Was that is that an upsell for like membership.io or is that a separate thing? I haven't even seen you guys talk too much about it.
No, it's literally brand new. It's hot off the presses. So it is a separate business, but there's a deep integration with membership.io, which enables us to be able to pull engagement data, and then we can map that to the billing information of that customer. And so if somebody hasn't interacted or engaged in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, obviously that member becomes higher and higher at risk. And so we can map the financial risk as well as the engagement risk. And we can do that in more granular detail if somebody is obviously using membership.io platform. So there's a super tight integration there. But bottom line is that I would encourage anybody to get out in front. If you have a recurring revenue product of any kind, get out in front of that churn and so that you have visibility into those at-risk members as you can do something about it.
Awesome. Something I would be interested in to talk a little bit about is kind of your content creation process now in the age of AI and how that kind of feeds into the different products you offer. Obviously, you have your flagship program and all this. So maybe you can share a little bit kind of the journey and where AI plays a role. You know, I had Ryan Levesque on for the summit, and he's like, I mean, he's a very interesting approach now with the return to real thing he's talking about, but he's writing his newsletter, but then he's amplifying himself to turn that into different pieces of content. So I would be interested to see how you do it in your business.
In a similar way, for sure. Like, we definitely use it to repurpose content that we're creating. So if we create a signature piece of content each week, then AI is helping us be able to repurpose that content in a variety of different ways in multiple formats. So that's super useful. I think too, we also use it for creation purposes. Now, it's not necessarily to come up with the ideas or to create the ideas. It's much more to tighten the ideas and sharpen the ideas. I use it from a content perspective more as a thinking partner. So as an example, like a lot of what I will do is I will record ideas, and obviously that gets transcribed. And so the original idea is coming from me, like it's out of my head, out of my brain into, let's say ChatGPT as an example. And then ChatGPT is helping me kind of structure that, give organization to it. Then I'm going back and forth with ChatGPT of like, okay, I want to sharpen this. I want to tighten that. I need a soundbite for this. How do I say this in a tighter way? So there's a lot of back and forth. So it's a lot more of a collaborative process versus relying on ChatGPT to create it. And so that's, there's that side of it. Then I would say also like from an ideas perspective, we're using different tools to help keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening. So as an example, like one of my frustrations was there is so much content coming down the pipeline every single day. Like, Navid, I'm sure that there are YouTubers that you love watching. There are podcasts you love listening to. There's social content every single day coming down the pipeline from creators that we love. There's a lot, and it's hard to keep up with. Now, I use like my, when I'm running, I use that to listen to podcasts. I use my drive into the office to listen to podcasts. And even then, I still never have enough time to be able to keep up with all the content that I want to. That's a frustration. So we use a tool called wisdomai.com. Now, again, this is a tool that we created for our own purposes to scratch our own itch. But what Wisdom does is that it gives you the ability to be able to curate content in your industry or market and get a daily email that summarizes all new content in that particular market from all the top YouTubers, podcasters, and social creators around that subject area. And so it is a super fast and easy way to be able to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in your market. And it serves as a fast and easy way to certainly get new ideas for content that you can create commentary on or might be relevant for your audience, etc. So that's a great research tool to stay up to date and also to spark new ideas for content.
Yeah, I think this is also quite new, right? I mean, you had it before, but it was a little bit different before. I mean, it was more like built into membership.io or formerly Searchio, I think. And now it's something different.
That's right.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Because I think I saw an email from you guys about it, and it was like, and it's pretty simple. You basically just sign up for it. I guess it was a free sign up there. I'm not sure if it's a paid tool or free, but
yeah, free tool. Free tool. Basically, Wisdom was a component of membership.io, and we were making that available separately, but ultimately we decided just to bake it right into membership.io. So then we used the wisdomai.com domain and created a separate service to solve the problem of overwhelm, the content overwhelm that I was just explaining. So now no more overwhelm. You just get straight daily digest when you sign up for free at wisdomai.com. And then every single day you get an email that summarizes all the top content that's created in that particular market that you choose and keeps you up to speed.
Something I was just thinking about, because I use Notion a lot in my my business. And Notion, they are doing some great things with AI as well. They just came out with their Notion agents, and that's pretty amazing because if you have your knowledge there, I mean, ChatGPT and Claude, they are amazing in their own way. But you run into some issues with, especially in Claude, you have like the projects, but then you upload a lot of information, and then you can have the context window issue, and it might need to upgrade or it just run out completely. Or same with ChatGPT. So in Notion, you don't have that limit issue. I think for Wisdom, I mean, if you guys build some integration that you can actually feed that information to Notion, because a lot of people use it to reach another market, basically. I think that's what I see with a lot of tools like Advice, and I think there's a podcast player I use called Snippet. I think it's really good, and they all kind of integrate together, so I can get it into a database in Notion. And then obviously with my agents, Notion, they are coming out with some GPTs as well soon, I believe. And then you will be able to have basically agents working on its own even when you're sleeping. So that's something I'm pretty excited about to see kind of where they are taking this. And that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude, there's so much innovation happening. It's, it's happening so quickly and so fast, and it's fun. It's exciting for sure.
Anything else with kind of the future and things like that you guys are working on? Anything that you can share that's more like on the maybe something that's coming soon or something that you are excited about?
It's a good question. I mean, I'm really excited about, like, as I said, RenewIQ. I think it's going to solve a massive problem because we experience it day in and day out. And my business has been focused on helping people grow memberships for the last 17 plus years. I see the problem occurring every single day. And churn is a natural thing with any membership or subscription. But being able to get out in front and save those sales before they cancel, that can add immediate revenue to somebody's bottom line. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the future of that. I'm excited about how AI will continue to be not only a tool in predicting the at-risk members, but also giving a game plan in terms of like next steps that somebody could take. So just imagine like a community manager or a success manager, as an example. They, at the beginning of the week, get a full report of all the members that are at risk, and then specific action items of what to do to save those members. So now it just helps like guide the next steps so that people, again, don't have to think they can just spend more time just getting into action. And I think at the end of the day, like, what I want to encourage people to do is to still use AI to help streamline so much of the mundane so that you can spend more time being human and interacting with people. And ultimately that's what gets me excited, is just being able to get back to, in a similar way with what Ryan says, get back to real, but just for me, it's just about human interaction, and using AI to free up the time to be able to give us that opportunity.
Yeah, I think like AI buys us back more time, essentially, especially if you use AI to amplify yourself and kind of what it is that you're doing. But I think what membership.io kind of helps with, and that's what you have done this for quite some time. I'm sure you have improved it also, but like you have all your video content in there. I think you use it for your free stuff as well. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because people can use it to repurpose their content in a way. I mean, you have the kind of chat there, you can get different ideas and titles and all this kind of stuff. So how do you use that if you have like some content for, I don't know, Instagram or YouTube or whatever you publish content? How does that kind of work with membership.io?
Yeah, just think of membership.io as your library. You're putting all your video content into one massive library. So to your point earlier, a lot of the GPTs can't handle a lot of content. So put it all into membership.io, all your video content, all your audio content. And what you're doing is you're building this library that is full of your best stuff. Now, what I like to do is I like to create a library that's all of my paid content, like in my courses and membership. And then I like to create a library that's all of my free content. Maybe that's podcast content, YouTube content, social media content. And then what I can do is when I build a library of all of my free content, now I can actually use that library to be able to serve people in any questions that may pop up and to generate leads. So a good example is that, if you were to use this, Navid, you could have like an asknavid.com. And so when people go there, they'd see a form where they can ask you any question. They type in the question, and behind the scenes, what that's going to start doing is going through your free library and finding all of the content that's relevant to the question they asked, stitching it together in that comprehensive response that we just showed in today's presentation, and then giving people references to the actual videos or audio where they could go deeper if they wanted to. Now, before they get to the answer, it would give them the chance to enter in the question, and then it would ask for their name and email. So you can build a list based on the people that are asking questions, which is all based on your free content. So it's just another way to leverage what you're already doing to be able to build your list and grow your audience. And so I think there are many ways when people take a step back and just think creatively about how to use these tools to almost like stack the momentum with what they're doing. So if you're already putting in the effort, like, why not use it for a whole bunch of other purposes too? And in this case, we can use it to be able to serve our members, answer questions, and build our list at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why. There's not too many tools that do this with the library feature. Even after many years, you had it for quite some time. That was actually what you did first. So you can just upload your videos and it syncs with YouTube, Vimeo, and all these places. But I haven't even seen too many places that have that kind of feature where you have, I think you have some plans where you can upload quite a lot of video as well. And, you know, if you compare it to Vimeo and other plans, they're quite expensive, but they don't offer kind of that feature exactly. Of course, a lot of tools, they have started adding AI, but they have not had that feature where you can actually search the library. And I've always wondered why, because that's like such a brilliant feature, actually.
So what I hear you saying is that those other tools are more expensive and are more inferior, is what I hear you saying.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you can search, like, for example, with different membership tools or video hosting platforms, you cannot search all the content. They might have transcription features, they might have translation features, they might have that in some way or other, but they don't have, like, so you can search a library. I don't know why. That's like, I've always wondered why more tools didn't jump on that. I've always promoted that feature of kind of membership.io or when it was searching before as well.
Yeah, that's why more people got to come to membership.io, buddy.
It's awesome, man. But I really enjoyed this, man. Do you have any final words of wisdom or any tips to people who want to get into, start using AI more and using it the right way, kind of the way you have explained here in this session, Stu?
Yeah, my final tips when it comes to AI is I would just encourage people to, go back to feeling like and being like a kid where you're just experimenting and playing. I think too often we can get wrapped up thinking that we're going to break things that, or we feel silly because we don't know something. And so we're just not willing to try and experiment. And I think the more you open yourself up to trying, experimenting, the more you'll begin to see the world of possibility. And today, there are more tools and resources than ever before. Navid, you even mentioned a bunch that I haven't heard of yet that I want to go check out. And I think every single day, there's more and more tools that are being released. And that can feel overwhelming. And it can create the sense of like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with it. I'm not even going to try. But I think at the end of the day, there's probably a handful of tools that you can and will use on a regular basis. But you just have to be willing to just try it and experiment. And know that it is as much a conversation with AI as it is a one-time prompt. Where if you don't like what you get back, then explain it. Talk back to it. Now I'm specifically referring to ChatGPT or Claude or any AI tool where you're interacting with it. But tell it and explain it, what you like and what you don't like, and use it as a way to sharpen your thinking and as well as its thinking. And over time, it's going to get better and better and better. And so now is the time to start experimenting. Now is the time to start using these tools, because now is the time to start claiming your time back. And my encouragement to you is to use that time. Use that time to be able to create more personal connection with your members and your customers, to be able to build the relationships, be able to spend time with the people that matter most. Use the time that's created to do more good in the world. But it all starts with you just being open to experimenting and trying some of the tools and ideas that we shared. So the question I'd leave you with is, what's one idea or one tool that you're going to begin experimenting with? Start there And we'll see you next year in next year's summit.
Awesome, man. And definitely I will link up membership.io in the description here as well. And speaking of claiming your time back, when I speak to AI, I mean, you can write and stuff like that, but I use Whisperflow a lot. I don't know if you heard about these tools too, but that's amazing. You can use it on your phone, iPad, or computer, and just kind of just syncs automatically to your Plod or whatever you're using. So you don't need to type everything, and you can explain better when you're speaking. You have more context, which AI needs. So where can people connect with you personally as well? We mentioned membership.io, obviously that's kind of the platform. We'll link that up. But Instagram, or where do you hang out most to?
Instagram is where I hang out most, and that's just my name, Stu McLaren. Yeah, send me a DM. Let me know that you watched this. What did you get from it? And you'll hear back from me because I do spend time there personally responding to people. So yeah, Instagram's the best place, or just straight on our website, stu.me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on here, Stu, and to everyone watching. Hopefully you found a lot of value here, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Ciao for now. Bye.